The cold here isn't like the stories. I've been sitting on this block of ice for hours, and I can't feel my feet. I have a hole in front of me, a black pit that hasn't given me a single bone in 3 days. And my mother is waiting, lying in bed in our dilapidated cabin. Her lungs can no longer endure this cold, and if I don't bring her something to eat today, she won't make it past tonight. Hunger won't let me think. I've scraped the bottom of every grain sack in the house, and only dust remains. I'm out here because I don't know what else to do. I'd rather the ice kill me than sit there watching her fade away. Nothing here seems alive. Nothing moves. I grabbed the axe and struck the edge of the hole to see if I could wake something up. But instead of a fish, I woke something else. The water began to move. A dark shape passed beneath my feet. Something heavy that made the ground where I stood vibrate. The ice burst with a sharp crack. I threw myself back as the water splashed my face and burned my skin. Out of that pit came a creature that could not exist, clutching the frozen edge with clawed hands. It's not an animal, no. It's a blue woman, covered in scales, looking at me as if I were her prey. She stayed still, with those fixed eyes that seemed to see into my soul. I couldn't take my eyes off her. Then she reached out a hand and showed me a golden fish that gave off a strong light, a light that warms you just by looking at it. That fish was my mother's life. Fear retreated to a corner and I managed to stammer, "Please, give me the fish. I need to take something home." I didn't expect her to speak. I only hoped she would throw it to me so I could run away from there. But she spoke. "I need something too. I need your warmth." She didn't move. She stayed there, waiting for me to take the first step. She pointed to my chest and then my clothes. I understood what she wanted. I took off my wool tunic and stood bare-chested against the wind that battered my skin. She reached out her blue hands and placed them directly on my flesh. It wasn't a touch. She dug her claws in, just enough so I couldn't move. I felt an axe blow of cold that emptied my lungs and left me breathless. She was stealing my life to warm herself. It hurt so much that I was on the verge of fainting, but I didn't let go. I accepted the pain because the glow of that fish is the only thing that will keep us all from ending up underground today. She withdrew her claws, and I fell to my knees on the snow. The cold was no longer attacking me from the outside. Now I had it inside, settled in my chest like a stone. I grabbed the golden fish from the ground. Its skin burned so much it nearly scorched my numb fingers. I put on my tunic in a hurry, with clumsy hands that wouldn't respond, and I started running toward the shore without looking back. I only thought about reaching the cabin before my own body gave out. I entered the cabin and slammed the door shut. My mother was still in the same place, breathing, with that broken whistling that set my nerves on edge. I went straight to the embers. I didn't clean the fish. I threw it into the hot pan, just as it was. The grease splattered, and the smell of roasted meat filled the room in seconds. My stomach ached from hunger, but I grabbed the pan and went toward the cot. I shook her by the shoulder so she would open her eyes. She opened her eyes. I put the first piece into her mouth with my own fingers because she didn't have the strength even to lift her head. She swallowed without chewing. At the second bite, color returned to her face. She sat up in the cot with a strength she hadn't had in weeks and snatched the pan from my hands to eat the rest. I stood there, watching her devour it, frightened by the speed at which the illness was vanishing. She fell exhausted at once, sleeping as she hadn't in years. I sat before the fire to try to get warm. I put my hands almost inside the flames. I saw the wood burning and my skin reddening, but I felt nothing. The heat wouldn't enter me. I rubbed my arms and looked around. I sat there watching her sleep. At dawn, she got up and seemed cured. She moved through the house as if she had never been sick. But at noon, while she was sweeping, she let out the first cough. She doubled over the broom, and when I went to hold her, I noticed the fever had returned. She looked at me with panic. The medicine was gone. I didn't have to think about it. I grabbed the stick and headed back out toward the ice. I reached the same hole. The water had frozen over again during the night. I used the stick to break the layer of ice, striking hard until the black water peeked through once more. I didn't have to wait. The surface broke and she came out, resting her elbows on the edge as if she were waiting for me. She didn't have the fish in her hand this time. I shouted to her that I needed another, that the fever had returned. She looked at me without moving a muscle in her face. "Heat is no longer of use to me," she said. Her voice sounded deep.